Hello, my name is Yella, and I'm the host of Business Meeting. Nice to see you here again. In this episode, we will be talking about things that I have no answer to, like questions I cannot answer, and focus on topics like how unpredictable life can be and how much meaning art gives to our lives. And first question is, how do you define success? And to be honest, it was so difficult for me to figure it out because I would like put a goal where I want to become successful. And what does that even mean? Like, if you want to be successful, you need to have like some like steps towards it or something. And it's very difficult because some people imagine that they want a big family or they want to be rich or they want to be famous or anything. It doesn't matter what it is, but like you have to be very very specific when it comes to your goals. And if you don't have that, I feel like you can go into this pit where you're overly perfectionistic, or you're just so unhappy with where you are because you don't have a clear goal where you're headed. So it's very difficult. Like, you need to have very specific standards, specific things that you want to achieve, and have a whole plan. Because when people say that I just want to be happy, I just want to be successful, what does that actually mean in a sense? So I had so much trouble with that, where I would think I just need to achieve that specific thing. And then exactly, okay, but like, what is it that actually makes you happy? What is it that actually gives you this feeling of success? So you just have to sit and think about it. And to this day, I'm not sure that I know the answer. I think as I grow, I want more things. I have no new goals, and I'm not sure if I'll ever know, because I just know that I'm this person who always tries to grow, and I'll always have more goals. So I have no clue what success is to me. Like, I don't even think that I'll ever be completely content with myself in that way. I'm just happy to be on this journey to like grow. I don't think I'll actually ever be there, but I'm just happy where it's going. So, yeah. And the next question would be probably, what was the most important emotional work you've done to yourself? And I always want to ask a person this because I think that, like, generally people really tend to work on external things, like have good grades, have a nice house, have a nice, like, things that really show up on you, like on how you dress, on how you live, basically. But it's very important to do the internal work. And that thing people can't really see unless you really talk about it. And even now, I'm just a very analytic person. So I have no clue how to answer this, but I love to ask people this because sometimes people are like, whoa, what does that even mean? And that's a good point. But I feel like if you've been through a lot and if you are more on the analytic side, you will find this question interesting. Because as soon as something happens to me, something major or something small, I always tend to like over analyze things in a way. And there's just so much that I work on that is crazy. Like, I tend to really criticize myself in a way, but I just find this question so mind-blowing because so many things shape us that it's absolutely insane. Next question would be, just imagine that you were born today and you have no past, no future, there are no limits in a way. And this is your first day. Like, you are as you are right now. Like, I'm 22 years old and I have no responsibilities, nothing. What do you want to do? How are you feeling? How is it going? How describe the feeling to me? Like, you're born today and what do you want to do? And to me, it was always like, I just purely want to live. I just want to have experiences. I want to learn. I want to do everything that I basically can. And it's so interesting because the answers really vary. Like, sometimes people go, oh, I just want to start a business. Or, oh, I want to be open to people and do all the things that I didn't do. And it just says so much about the person's nature. Next question is, what is art? And how people describe art. Because it's really interesting. Well, I study arts, and we've had this discussion on whether a banana on a wall, like a lot of people probably know this, but would you consider banana on the wall as an art piece? We've had this discussion in one of my lectures, and the opinions were so different. Like, most of the people were like, no way. Like, what meaning does it have? What is, like, for it to be art, there has to be meaning. But I've seen so many art pieces be popular, even though they don't have all that much meaning. They're just beautiful. They're just aesthetically pleasing, and they're like, people still call it art. People, like, it doesn't matter in a sense. So at first I was like, okay, maybe if it has idea, you can call it art, because it was done with of course, like, okay, meaning, but it was done with an intention in a way. And it's still creative. Like, you need to have this specific kind of thinking to be an artist, I'd say. You need to be creative, but it's very difficult to say because there's so many different artists, and some of them do extremely insane detailed work, and some just stick to minimalism, and that's why sometimes people tend to, like, look down on them. Or, and I don't know how to even call it, but it's really difficult to judge art, honestly, because if you hate it, then there will be some people who really enjoy it. So you can't really do anything. I don't think that it's even up for a debate in a sense. You can't really debate this question because art is different for every person. It's subjective. And if it's subjective, no clear boundaries, no clear limits, no clear categories that it fits into, nowadays especially. So can you really say that art fits a single meaning or a description? I don't think so. So it's a very absurd question in a way. You can debate and debate and think all you want, but, like, there will never be one specific answer, because that's the beauty of art, that you can create things, you can create meaning, and you can push those boundaries as far as you possibly can. So I have no clue how to answer this, honestly. Like, nowadays people always push those boundaries, and they're always playing and mixing themes and just experimenting so much that it's always evolving, and that's how it always will be. So it's fucking absurd, honestly. Yeah, and moving on. This is a very difficult question in a way, but what states your value? And I sort of hate that question because I've been through so many different I lived through so many different answers in a way, because as you grow up you're told to like be a good student, have good grades, straight A student, then I'm like the best. I'm the best student in school, I'm the best student in class. And the problem with that is that how does that even work? Like, okay, you got an A from this, you got an A from that, but like, what about who you are truly? Like, at your core. I don't get it. Like, how are you supposed to, like, only you can value yourself. No one can tell you who you are. No one, like, no grades, no nothing. You live for yourself, and it's just so, you can't really judge anyone. It's, you're your own person. It's so insane. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, we have so many systems that judge your value or tell you who you are, or okay, you've been a great employee, you'll have like a bonus of like, it's just so not real. They just, people just want results from you, so you can't depend on them on giving you a normal feedback, because that's just what they want to get from you, you know. So you need to be very strong on that. And like, if you're in school, if you're a kid, you're not really ready for that. So you tend to put yourself on expectations that are not even on the same path as you want to be in a way. In some cases, your environment shapes you in a way that's very inconvenient to you. So, how can you trust it? How can you trust the opinions that people who don't have the best interest for you tell you, you know? You can only actually trust yourself in that sense because you have your goals, you know your potential, and don't listen to anyone else because they don't know what's going on with you. They don't know your goals, they don't know who you want to be, they don't know your potential, honestly. And only you can honestly say what you can achieve. So that's very crazy to me, honestly. Yeah, and next question would be how much music actually means to people. I will never. Oh my god. Oh my god. I remember when I was a kid and I had my first headphones. It was life changing. It was life changing. You know, like I feel like since if you spend enough time on the internet, you know that like no one ever has an original experience. So you're driving somewhere and like you're looking outside the window and you imagine that you're in a music video as you listen to music, you know, like everyone, doesn't matter if you're good at singing or not, you don't have to be rational in that in that particular scene, you know. But it's just so crazy, like when you hear the song, the lyrics, like the vibe in general, and you get shivers, literal shivers. I don't understand. Can someone explain to me what happens scientifically? What is going on? What is going on? Because if not music, I don't know who I would be. I like, generally I can confidently say that it's such an addiction to me that every single time I leave my headphones at home and I have to like enjoy the ride in silence, I'm like, oh my god, I go into a withdrawal. Like honestly, like it's such a big part of my life in a way, and I don't even do music. I don't even do it for a living, and it's if we wouldn't have music, it would be insane. Like I generally don't know what would help this world if we didn't have music. It would I don't even want to picture it because it doesn't matter who you are. I have never met a single person who didn't like music. That's it for the question so far. And if you enjoy this type of content, just press subscribe and follow. If you want to be one of our guests, reach out to us. The contacts are in the description, as always. And thank you for watching. Your support really gives me a lot of motivation. And see you next time. Bye.